I want to deal with the points that are raised, but obviously I want to deal with the response from government as well. So I want to thank all the deputies for their contribution today. I'm grateful for the opportunity to close the debate for the government on People Before Profits eviction ban. As the Minister outlined earlier, O'Brien, the government opposes this bill for a number of reasons that the Minister outlined those earlier. Obviously, the Minister O'Brien has also outlined that the government is currently considering the legal policy issued involved in the extension of the eviction ban. No decisions have been made, and the Cabinet will discuss the issues involved and reach a final decision in the coming weeks. And his department, our department, has engaged in detailed discussion with the Office of the AG on the legal consideration of such an extension. Discussions will form any Cabinet decision, and obviously in there as well is that we pointed a number of issues. Some other members have raised them. This will provide a cliff edge. Our current bill at the moment does not. However, final decision is yet to be made by government. The government is keenly aware of the challenges that tenants face. We know that supply is key in improving our housing system, and it's increasing. Almost 30,000 new homes were built last year. When verified and published in the coming months, figures will show more socially new houses, new builds were delivered in 2022 than any year in decades, really in the last half a century. The current bill, the Resident Tenancy Deferment of Termination Dates of Certain Tenancies Act, was signed into law on 29th of October last. It makes an emergency provision to defer termination dates of certain residential units that fall or would fall during the winter emergency period, beginning on the 30th and ending on the 31st of March. The aim of the bill is to mitigate the risk that persons whose tenancies would otherwise be terminated during the winter would be unable to obtain alternative accommodation. And there isn't an absolute cliff edge here. There is no cliff edge. It's staggered with dates up to the 18th of June. It gives protections up to that date. And obviously supply is the key, and it's increasing. 30,000 were built last year. That's an increase of 45% in the previous year. Affordability is the heart of government policy as well. We're looking to build an average of 6,000 affordable homes per annum, consisting of 4,000 affordable purchases, 2,000 cost rentals. Both have got underway. We're looking at the First Home Scheme as well. We'll be looking to support up to 2,000 homes eligible buyers in 2023. That's 50 million being provided there. I've already spoken about cost rentals. We want to have 18,000 cost by 2030, an average of 2,000 per year. And we also want to look at now dealing with the bill itself. The recent and future change to the Residential Act, and partly for any rental reforms, be justified and necessary as a matter of priority to avoid the risk of weakness, stability and confidence in the rental sector. And many of the members here have made reference to landlords. We need a functioning system. We need balance. And Deputy Healy-Rae made reference to 44,000 landlords have left the system since 2016, up to December of 2021. But there are still 276,000 landlords there. He's not correct to say that every landlord is paying 56%. That depends on the income of the landlord. Some may be paying at the standard rate. So, you know, it's not a blanket 56% across the board. We need to keep landlords in the system, many of them accidental. We also want to have rules in place to provide protections for tenants as well. It's all about providing the balance. So, in the context of the bill as presented by People Before Profit and Deputy Boyd Barrett and his colleagues, and Deputy Breed Smith is here as well, I would like to point out that Section 3, as presented, differs significantly from the current policy in the rental market and has been raised in the context of previous debates. If progressed, the provision would legalise overhauling of rental properties by tenants. That's where tenants have been served with notice. The period has gone by their notice period, and they would continue to pay rents, but it would ensure that it would have the unintended consequence that it would be lawful for them to remain on. Currently, where a lawful notice has been served, a notice period expires for the winter emergency period, landlord has a legitimate expectation that the tenant will leave the property in compliance with the law. And we must recognise the constitutional protection rights here. So what we're doing is to strike a balance of the constitutional rights for tenants, but also for landlords. And in my experience on a day-to-day basis, I find most tenants and landlords have a good relationship. It's not fair to say, and Deputy O'Donnell made reference, you've poor landlords and you've poor tenants, but greater majority are trying to get on. And I think that's being missed in the system. We want something that works. The government recognised the need to substantially and urgently scale up housing delivery, which we're doing across emergency accommodation, affordable housing, cost rental. We need to carefully consider the next step to assist those in the rental sector. As said, Housing the Housing for All action plan updated last November. My department has commenced a comprehensive review of the private rental sector. This review will take into account the significant regularity change over the past several years and will report on how our housing system provides an efficient, affordable, viable and safe and secure framework for both landlords and tenants. Equally, the cost rental model has to feed into that as well. Improving the standard security and affordability for renters is a priority for me, and the government makes significant change in recognition of the fact that each tenant continues to face persistent pressures in the rental and housing markets. Our approach to change must continue to be carefully balanced. Remember that we need landlords to provide a steady supply of rental accommodation for that sector to be in sound footing for both tenants and landlords. I just want to go through some of the individual contributions. Deputy Boyd Barrett, you made reference to generally about cliff edge. Currently what's been provided is, there will be some tenants that come the 1st of April, but for many tenants it will be out to the 18th of June. Deputy Smith, you made reference to the cliff edge again. I dispute that fact. You made reference in terms of the utter failure of policies. I dispute that fact. We are, at this stage, in the last year, we will see the highest number of new social housing units built. We've a raft of new schemes out there. I'd ask you to allow them to take place. We have lost 44,000 landlords. We can't ignore that fact. And we can't ignore the fact that we need landlords to stay in the system. Deputy O'Brien made reference to the tenants in situ scheme. We've given delegated powers to the local authorities to purchase houses for tenants in situ, social housing. And Deputy Collins, you made reference to that. The system is there for people who are on HAP. It's working, and the local authorities have major flexibility in that area. He made reference to the cost rental scheme in terms of local authorities. They can apply for that under the Affordable Housing Fund as it is. They don't need to apply for the scheme, the equity loan scheme. That applies to AHBs. Once again, he made reference to the cliff edge. I dispute that. It's graduated out to the 18th of June, but obviously we've made no final decision on the overall scheme as yet. Deputy Nash made reference to about rentals. If you look at the DAFT report and any of the reports, the rent pressure zones have worked for sitting tenants. Over the last 10 years, rents have gone up for sitting tenants by about 3.7% on average per year. Outside of Dublin, about 1.3%. For new tenancies, I accept that point, but that point is being lost. Deputy O'Callaghan made reference in terms of various points. He spoke about vacant homes. The Creekone scheme is there. He should be telling his constituents to apply for that scheme in terms of derelict sites and derelict houses and vacant homes. He spoke about the approval process. There is a stage 1 process there for local authorities. One stage if they wish to avail of it. It's not just a 4-stage process. He made reference to Samuel Beckett and Waiting for Godot as well, I presume to put in a bit of theatre. He spoke about the much needed new homes. We delivered 30,000 homes in the last year. And then finally, I want to be fair to everyone. I dispute the point on measure of house. CSO came up with a model,
Yeah, we're over
which all the
time,
parties
I'm
bought
afraid.
into,
Thank you,
and I think
Minister.
that should be recognised.
Thank you.